So without wasting any more time, I'll request Professor Sircar to please begin the debate.
Good evening, everybody. We are probably in the last session of the day, but a different session indeed, and we are very excited that we are probably having this kind of debate in such conferences for the first time. Having said that, I also say that this is a session which is keeping away from your dinner. So we'll try to wrap it up in time. We have two people, two debaters, very, very eminent and established people in their field. Subhadip Sarkar, who is going to speak in favor of trade secrets, and we have Biju Nair, who is going to speak in favor of open innovation. Now, how I have designed this debate is we will start with the opening remarks from each of them. It's going to be 3 minutes for each of them, followed by a rebuttal of 5 minutes again by each of them. At this time, I would invite all of you also to join. You can make your comments and ask questions to any of them. That's going to be about 5 minutes. Then we have the closing statements, and we take a poll among everybody to see that who wins the debate. Now, having said that, let's set the ball rolling. I would ask all of you, who should start this debate? Should we give an opportunity for trade secret to start or open innovation to start? Those who are in favor of trade secret. Councillor Khan? Shuldeep. Dr. Agarwal says Shuldeep, so trade secret starts. Shuldeep, your time starts now. 3 minutes of opening statements.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. When Anindya mentioned how many of you are in favor of trade secret, I saw only 2 hands, but I'm sure my job is to ensure that at the end of the session, all of your hands raised for trade secrets. So let's try and make that. Now, I'll start with a small, a story which I believe everybody knows about, a company called Quirky. This company was formed in 2009. It is actually a company which allowed open innovation platform for people to submit their ideas. Anybody could go and submit their ideas, and they would pick up the best ideas and commercialize, manufacture them, commercialize, so on and so forth. Now, it started very well. It was innovative at that point in time, but eventually they filed for bankruptcy. And there were a lot of case studies taught in different schools in terms of why it failed. While open innovation is, something which everybody loves, but at the same time, why did this company fail? And when people analyzed, and there are a lot of papers and literatures around it, they said that there was no structure. There were a lot of chaos in terms of what would be the final outcome. The evaluation process was not uniform. There were no coordination among the inventors or the developers in terms of meeting a common goal. Commercialization miserably failed, and even if when they were able to do commercialization, they could not sustain it for further support development and further, derivative work around it, because there was no direction. So for all these reasons, it actually failed. And what I'm going to talk about in the next 2 minutes or so is trying to structure this in 3 broad buckets as to why trade secret, or kind of having a model which gives a protective layer of protecting your innovation or having a structured innovation. One is the organizational level, which talks about giving a competitive advantage when you have something as trade secret. Now, my dear friend Biju will of course argue, saying that no, even in open innovation you can get structure, you can definitely get competitive advantage. But it is not true, because today in this competitive world, What is the most precious element what companies try to protect is the confidential information. Look at how they fight against each other when there is a potential breach of confidentiality. How companies try to maintain a non-compete provision or no poaching clauses in employment agreement. If open innovation was so open in terms of for companies, why would they fight for so much of confidentiality and non-compete? So definitely there is value of keeping certain information as trade secret. Second is, in terms of open innovation, while it sounds very good, but having the right partner, having the right resource becomes always a very big challenge. Because while you can have a common goal as to what you want and you start getting the partners, but definitely it doesn't last long in terms of coordination because it becomes very unstructured, and unless you can develop a governance model, a very solid governance model, open innovation may not lead to a right commercial or a product which can be commercially viable. You have a lot of implementation challenges which I will not get into details. Again, one of the important aspects which people struggle in open innovation is compliance, IPR, contamination of IP, all of it, because end of the day you can develop a wonderful product through open innovation, but when you want to commercialize, you will have to do all the checks, and when you find that some of them are not right, you need to reinvest on them, because the client will ask all the things from you, will say that, okay, do you give warranty, do you give indemnity, what is your support, do you have a 24/7 support? So to do all this, you will really need to invest. Now coming to the second level, do I have still 1 minute more? 10 seconds, okay. On operational level, I think some of the issues around time constraint, investment, lack of unified commercial, goal, etc. becomes an aspect of concern. And last but not the least is the individual level, which is about people issues. People who develop or who are innovative, they need a motivation and recognition. Sometimes we've seen that the open innovation platform does not give them the right level of recognition and motivation, which leads to failure. There are a lot of information leak also that happens in innovation, open innovation, which also concerns not only the companies but at the individual level. So overall, I will totally support on trade secret, while open innovation is not bad, but for the purpose of this debate, I definitely will support trade secret. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sarkar. So, my learned friend also has supported my statement that open innovation is good. So, before that, let me give a background. Open innovation is a highly misunderstood term. Open innovation doesn't mean that you cannot commercialize. If most of you, if you're using an Android phone, that is the best example of open innovation in the world. Let's look at companies which have been silo thinking. The best example of trade secret is Coca-Cola. But that was a different decade. Can we think of in the new technological regime where can we think of trade secrets? Is there a law in the country on trade secrets? There is no uniformity in the laws, in the jurisdiction also where there is trade secret law. So, I can give you a number of examples where silo thinking and trade secret was Xerox Power Research Center. Many of the innovation was done there, but they were never into, commercialization of those innovation. Adobe is an outcome of the research at Power Research Center. Microsoft, some of the things are from Power Research Center. Because of trade secret and the silo thinking, that never came out. But on the other hand, if you think at Tesla, you look at Toyota, who are leaders in the ecosystem on the EV engineering side. Today, if you do open innovation and collaborative innovation, there is more money to make, because let's say you are doing a silo innovation. nobody will buy a product because they have to license it out. But if you do a collaborating innovation like Android or what Tesla is doing, then there is more users across the globe. There is more adoption. And even in the service also you can be the leaders. So more adoption in open innovation, more users, you get revenue from that. If you are doing silo innovation, there will be no adopters of this technology. And today's time, the technology is lasting only for 6 months. There is a disruption in the technology then. So you have to make value of that technology within that 6 months. Trade secret will never allow you to do that. So it is very important that collective and the resources to innovate is scarce. However big you might be a company, resources, technology, money, patents, everything is limited. So the best way to go forward in a limited time span, especially high-end technology, is to collaborate, utilize the technology. So today if you see Toyota, Tesla, all of them are allowing their patents to be utilized by others as long as they will not sue them. So the objective of commercialization is met, usage is met, revenue is met, and contributors also is met because everybody is adopting it, everybody contributes to the technology. So the technology improves. So there is a huge benefit, and as humans we are not made, the construct is not for silo thinking. We are dependent. And today with collaborative innovation, across the globe you can do this. It is not just limited to one country. Let's say, think of Coca-Cola. How many countries they can enforce trade secrets? So with that I rest my case. The best example is for trade secrets is Coca-Cola, and for open innovation and open that concept is Android, Tesla, Toyota. So you can decide for yourself.
Thank you, Biju. I'll take 3 points specifically what my friend Biju mentioned about. It's not about commercialization of innovative or products generated through open innovation. I think my point was not about that you cannot commercialize, but what my point was that it takes a lot of effort to commercialize a product which may have been developed by 100 partners. Because in any case, when you're talking about the time which Biju mentioned, that when you have 6 months time, in open innovation sometimes there are case studies which shows that selecting partners to do an open innovation or getting ideas from different people takes more than 6 months. Forget about development. Rather you can do it in-house. And if you get 2 wrong partners, thank you, God save you. Forget about commercialization. So therefore, there are of course successful stories about open innovation, also successful stories about keeping something as trade secret or having a controlled environment of IP development. You of course have both this thing, but in general, one of the examples that he gave about companies offering patents open, like Tesla, you gave an example, and IBM also sometimes, and there are many other companies. But just imagine how would they react if you go to a company like IBM and say that, I want to select the patents which you want to give it for free. Will they give it? Please understand what portfolio of patents they are opening it up and what is the purpose. There are 100 reasons for opening it up, not really for open innovation. So I think there are different business reasons because of which companies may really open up their portfolio, not necessarily always for the purpose of open innovation. So overall, I don't think Anindya, I need 5 minutes. These are my 3 broad topics. I feel that still I am in favor of trade secret. I will stick with trade secret, and I feel that that's a much better way of protecting your innovation and more to do with commercialization.
At this moment, we are going to deviate a little bit from traditional debating patterns. I'm inviting all of you to make your comments and ask questions In favor or in against? We already have a hand there. Can we have a mic for that lady? Now, this debaters have the choice to answer it now or when they speak next time. Can we have a mic there? She has a question.
Hey, good evening, everyone. First of all, Mr. Nair, thank you for sharing your view. I really want to congratulate you that coming to an IP convention and talking about open source is open innovation is, it's really interesting. But at the same time, when you said that there are no latest examples of trade secret, Google is something that we can talk about. Their algorithm is not known to anyone, and that's a trade secret, and that's I think that's what is keeping them alive, first of all. And as I think I agree with the trade secret comment of saying that there is a reason why we want to protect our IP. Monetization obviously is the reason why we are all sitting here and the businesses are running. Open innovation can be a threat or can be a challenge for that. So that will be my 2 cents, that I would definitely support trade secret here, not just in terms of protecting our innovation, but also in terms of monetization, and that's where the business is, I believe. Thank you so much.
Would you like to respond now or take it up later?
I can respond right now. So if you see, Google also changes their algorithm every 1 year. Okay, so that's one. Secondly, Google is the biggest benefiter of open innovation. The best example is Android. So if they had done it in a trade secret manner, the old Android technology, there would have been no adopters. Today, everybody uses Android. So if you are using a car, there is an Android there. Using a TV, there is an Android there. Phone, there is an Android there. And Google makes more money because it is open innovation, not trade secret. And the amount of money they make, had they made it in a trade secret manner, I don't think they would have made money. Today, everybody can use Android. So that's the beauty. And there is more commercial sense to make it open source or open innovation than being silos.
So Dipanjan Nag, I'm from the US, so I'll give you a little bit of US perspective, and then I have a question as well. So open innovation works really well from the academic side. We spend about $150 billion a year at universities, and without open innovation, there will be no innovation in pharma or medical device, period, right? So it works. Now, coming to the point of what you were trying to sort of profess on open innovation side of things, I think the distinction needs to be made, and I'd love to hear from both of you. We are generalizing open innovation vastly, right? So for a pharmaceutical or a medical device industry, it does not work because they require exclusivity. So anything which is non-exclusive, there is a potential of open innovation working. That's one. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Two, I think the Tesla agreement, people should actually read that. It's a gimmick. It ain't open innovation in any way, shape, or form, right? So I've read it in my class. I teach a class on IP. And so, we went through that. It is a total gimmick. So it's not true open innovation. So I'd love to hear your comments. I don't know the Toyota kind of model. So two questions. One is generalization and industry segmentation. And the second is, what does true open innovation work from an agreement standpoint for patent?
If you take, I'll just give one example, and I want the reaction from both of you on that. That one example which I gave is on the human genome project. Okay? Because when you looked at the genome project, it opened up a huge range of opportunities. But that also simultaneously opened up a large number of areas of both research and commercialization. So I want to know from both of you how do you look at something like that, which is also socially responsible?
Yeah.
So I'll answer first your question around the pharmaceutical side. During the COVID time, all the pharma companies came together with the COVID pledge and they worked together, because that point of time, if you don't get the production on the time, right time, you miss the bus. So they came together on many of the, so most of the companies that time went to a COVID pledge where they would be collaborating with each other so that the production of vaccines increased. And some of them in certain jurisdictions also gave up their patent exclusivity and stuff. So that's the need of the hour. And I know that, traditionally pharma companies never got into a collaborative working. But I think things are also changing. But that's one area which still open innovation is required. And as regards to open genome and other areas, so today it is not just limited to one area. From the space to your mobile to everything, movie industry, everywhere there is, the advent of open source and open innovation which is working. Because today there is a limitation of money, resources, which always was there. So you have to utilize the collective strength of companies across the globe. Because you might be good in something, I might be good in something. And you know that for a fact. So if we can collectively use our resources to that effort, the product to the market will be faster. And there will be more users of your product. See, end of the day, your product or services, if there is more users, you make money.
Shruti, you want to answer?
Yeah. So, a couple of comments. One thing I think we have to understand is that it's not a binary that you have to select one over another. It is not that for a company, you have a question saying that should it be open source, should it be trade secret? Both has to work together. Now, both for Dr. Ganguly's question as well as your question, the point that we need to understand is there are certain areas where open innovation may work better. Now, if going by the Google algorithm, now can you go to Google saying that you have so many things, you have made it open innovation, you have allowed developers to develop. Can you do the same thing for your core algorithm? They'll say no, right? For every company, there are certain things they want to keep it core as a protective trade secret. There are certain areas where they are fine to do it because they are generic, because there may not be any reason or a need to give a reps and warranty for that commercialized product to the end client. For that, they don't care who is developing, what is the quality of code, what is the warranty associated, etc., etc. For those, you can push it under open innovation or use of open source, those kind of aspects. The certain core areas you can keep it as trade secret. Now, of course, the genome case that you said, sir, it raises a lot of opportunities, and definitely that's one of the advantages that we see on the open innovation side, that yes, but eventually all the branches that it opens for further research, you will again get it segregated between trade secrets, between open source, so or open innovation. So you will see that diversion again happening where people will keep certain things confidential. That is the core for business. Competitive advantage becomes the sole reason to doing it, and it will remain always one of the priorities for companies.
Okay, so before I ask them for their last concluding remarks, let me also ask a few questions and make some comments. Well, the Human Genome Project was a massive work. It was done in several places. It could not be, the genome could not be patented primarily because most of the statutes in different countries didn't allow to do that. Okay, and people, that's one of the reasons people were working together and in unison. The result of that became a very large boom to the biotech industry, and there are a lot of new products, new services, which came up. See, the birth of the entire CRISPR technology is an outcome of that. And there it is not open, it's protected. Now, before they go, one more thing is that I feel some of us believe that when we talk about trade secret, we know what it is. Okay? We know there's no statute, there's something you should keep secret, you should have a system to keep it secret and not share. When it comes to open innovation, there are different thoughts. Okay. There are a lot of people, which I want both of them to respond, is there are a lot of situations sharing a patent or donating a patent to a patent pool or making your patent available to everybody is not open innovation at all. Open innovation is that when you disclose your research reactions, research results at the time you are getting it and you are making it available. After you have made your commercial benefit out of those IPs and then after 5 years, you are now donating it to pool, some critics feel that this is not open innovation. So now we have the last 5 minutes for both of them for their closing remark, and this time I think you should start.
So,
there's one more question. One more question. Yes.
So very small question. This is Rahul. I have a very small question, or you can say query. MIT, let's say Massachusetts Institute of Technology publishes a free code on machine learning. Now we have heard machine learning, but machine learning is a breakthrough concept. MIT is engineer enough to publish that on a website, GitHub as a free code. Now somebody comes like a telecom giant, like say Ericsson, copies, uses that code on machine learning and gets a patent, gets an improved telecom standard. Don't you think MIT will be thinking twice again to publish that code free of cost unless and until they would have received some solatium? So there may be some discouraging factor unless if the actually patent grant or patent allottee doesn't offer some kind of royalty solatium to the MIT. It may be discouraging for MIT next time.
So MIT can do a defensive publication and make sure that nobody in the world can get a patent on subject matter. So if MIT has not done that, that's MIT's problem, not my problem. So anyway, I would only state one thing. If we have to go back to our places where we came from in the morning, you need open innovation because you have to use either an Uber or an Ola, which is working on open street maps, but you don't need a trade secret to go back to your home. I rest my case.
Okay, now talking about Anindya's point that Anindya made on in terms of what is open innovation, giving away or donating patents is not really open innovation. It is debatable in a sense because people may say that when I am donating, let's say 5 patents of a particular portfolio to public, I am actually allowing them to do derivative work on this and thereby doing open innovation. They can further develop and I am giving them the right to do it. It is all open, nobody owns it exclusively, etc., etc. So some form of open innovation may be there. But the key question is, the patents that are being donated, are they good enough? Are they really worth to do, or they have already been too late in the system to really start working on the open innovation? So that is where the problem is. It's not about giving the patents and thinking that yes, now I am supportive of open innovation. What is the value of those patents? Is there a benefit? Is there a commercial value of this? That is more important to see when you talk about open innovation. The quality matters. And if you really look at the type of open innovation in terms of quality versus what is kept as trade secret, which generates better commercial value for an organization, I think any day trade secret would beat open innovation. Thank you so much.
For instance, a very popular trade secret like Coca-Cola is KFC's 11 herbs and spices. So it might have worked for them for quite some time that they were using that particular trade secret to sell more in a lot of countries. But now we have very good restaurants. And I would say, in my opinion, KFC's fried chicken is the least interesting one that we have right now. So do trade secrets make lazy innovators in the sense that they haven't developed a good product like that after that?
And also the question should come from me also whether the fact that in the present time where we are all dealing with technology, that was the food technology. So in this modern time, can we look at trade secret? And that's the very reason that most countries in the world don't have trade secret law, even in India.
No,
The point is, not only law, though we may not have a trade secret law, but we still have, the common law to protect trade secret. So it is not that you really need a separate statute to protect trade secret. That is not mandatory. As long as you have the right governance and, the right laws, you can always protect. That's how, confidentiality is there. But to answer your question in terms of whether people stop thinking, absolutely not, because there is always a fear that there could be the same trade secret developed independently by somebody else. So you will have to constantly drive innovation within your organization. You have to constantly see how you can do better derivative work of what is there presently. That depends on the innovative index of the company, how innovative the company is, how forward-looking is. But it is not about, in fact, the reverse is true. When you think about open innovation, there are many researchers who would say that it prohibits them to think, because there always is a mindset that, if I have to do something innovative, I'll call 5 partners, I'll get a consultant, I'll work with universities, I'll do a collaborative thing. My ability to think becomes limited. So that is another school of thought against open innovation.
Thank you very much.
Anindya.
Sir, we have so many questions.
One more question here, go ahead.
So if I may, I think we are confusing a little bit. So the gentleman over here talked about the Human Genome Project. That's really more of pre-competitive research, right? That is not really open innovation per se. And like you pointed out, if people are sharing their CRISPR patents, that would be open innovation, right? So the question really for both of you is, there are intensive aggregation models like RPX, AST, OIN, I would argue, unified patents. Do you think that is open innovation? Because to me, that is really pooling these, hired and, completed patents into a pool to reduce the risk of litigation. To me, that doesn't seem like open innovation, so I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So I can't talk about other entities, but I can talk about Open Invention Network. So Open Invention Network was created 18 years back when IBM was sued by a company called SU. So when IBM was sued by SU, IBM realized that if fundamental technology like Linux and open source is not protected, there will be no end to litigation. So anybody can join the community, which is called Open Invention Network. The biggest advantage is that whether you are a startup, you are a project, you are an individual, you are a company, anybody can join the community free of cost. There is no commercials. You get a patent tension-free ecosystem on Linux and open source. So anybody in the world can be protected from 2 types of problems. One is operating entities behaving like a patent owner, or a pure non-practicing entity. So if a non-practicing entity sues any of the community members or a non-community member also, they join the community. Like I can give the example of Genome Foundation, which was sued, which is an open source foundation, in 2019 by Rothschild. When Rothschild sued them, Genome Foundation did not have any patents. They did not have financial wherewithal to fight a patent litigation against Rothschild. They joined the community Open Invention Network. We gave them prior art. They went for invalidating the patent of Rothschild. They went for crowdfunding. With the crowdfunding, they went and attempted to invalidate. Rothschild withdrew the case. Same way, years back, Microsoft had sued TomTom and Canonical. When TomTom and Canonical were sued, they were cash-rich, patent poor. Typical scenario. But once they joined the community, within 72 hours, Microsoft withdrew those cases. 3 years back, Microsoft also joined us. So this was a tectonic shift in Microsoft's behavior. Being the largest proprietary company in the world, now they have become the biggest contributor to open source. So I think that also rests my case.
I think we are confusing the issue and cited. We are not talking about patents. We are discussing patents. Patents is the most open source.
Yeah.
Right? So we are not talking about patents. So we are about trade secrets, which is different from patents. So I think the debate should more focus towards trade secret and not what's patent. But patents actually is an open system because it's public. Right? So therefore we shouldn't be talking about patents.
Absolutely right, sir. Are there any more questions? We can take probably one more.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
I think the debate is not either or, as you mentioned, that it's not an either or situation of a patent and a trade secret. The point I am trying to make is that I think it depends on the timing when you're making the decision whether it's a patent or it's going to be a trade secret. Because, and it also depends on the product. If it is going to be a product which is so innovative, which has a unique formula, I think it will be a trade secret. But if it is something which is a patent which is used, which you can commercialize easily, yes, it would become a patent maybe. That's the decision you take. I'll just give you an example. Suppose we were to come up with a formulation, say an Ayurvedic formulation which completely cures COVID. And it is short cures COVID. What would you advise your client? Would you say trade secret or would you say patent? You would obviously say trade secret because that's a secret which gives you higher monopoly and gives you higher commercial value. If it was a patent, you would lose that because you've already revealed your formula to the patent office. So it's in the public domain at some point of time in any case. So I think
I would have gone for a third one.
I also have a third option, which is like, give it to the world, open innovation, let humanity benefit for it. That could be third option.
yes, but I'm talking about commercialization of trade secrets. We are talking about the commercial side of it. We are not talking about the goods as a public service out here.
So there is a commercialization aspect also. I'll discuss with you, ma'am.
I think that's, in a world where, in the commercial world where we are constantly debating between whether we want to build something or buy something to save time, trade secret and open innovation both plays an important function. Specifically, in the pharmaceutical and the biotech world, if you do not keep trade secrets, your business is going to almost collapse. There are more options probably in the ICT, primarily because of lesser gestation time or product to market, and probably again lesser money at stake, and all put together. What I can see today is that there's no clear winner. Or do you think there's a clear winner?
Now you should take a poll, sir.
Yeah, I'm taking a poll right now. Do we have a clear winner? How many in favor of trade secret? 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 4.5, 5, okay. How many in favor of open innovation? Oh, that's quite a bit. So, we have 3 groups. Yes, no, and don't know.
Not sure.
That's your polite way of saying. Okay, patent is anyway cannot be a trade secret, it's always published. Anyway, with that, I think we had a wonderful discussion and we'll keep continuing this. I will check up with him to find out, I'm curious to know which chicken is better than KFC now. And I'm talking again of a lot of food, so let's close this session. I would like to thank Subhadip and Biju for being wonderful debaters. And the participants in the audience, you've been really good. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, ending on a high note, take with you the energy and insight for the ongoing journey for the day ahead and the days ahead. So thank you so much. Expressing our appreciation to the exceptional panelists who made this session both enlightening and memorable as well. And thank you to our talented moderator for skillful guidance, making this session an enriching experience for all of us. So I now request Dr. D.P. Agarwal to please felicitate our guests. I'd request Dr. Agarwal to first felicitate Professor Dr. Anindya Sircar, Chair Professor, IPR, Nalsar University of Law. Thank you so much, Professor Sircar, for moderating this session so wonderfully and for your insights and your valuable inputs. Thank you so much. I'd request Dr. Agarwal to please felicitate Mr. Subhadip Sarkar, Vice President, Legal and Corporate Affairs, Cognizant Technology Solutions. Thank you so much, Mr. Sarkar, for joining us, and Mr. Biju K, Nair, Founding Partner, Open Invention Network. Thank you so much to all the gentlemen. I'd request all of you to please come forward for a group picture. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this session and for the entire day. And I'd thank all the speakers for a very good day. In fact, we had day one of this convention.